What's going on? Hope everyone had a great week of lifting. I'm sorry this video is getting out a little late. My weekend got a lot more crazy and hectic than I expected it to, so unfortunately I wasn't able to have the time to get this video made. I know that my videos aren't that long, so I don't really have any excuse. So honestly, this is an excuse. I just didn't get to it. So what I want to do is give you just a weekly update, again like I did last week and the week prior, of where I'm at in my diet, my prep, my training, my cardio. But also just talk a little bit about how I am feeling as well. Because even though I've only been in this diet for about 4 weeks, I am getting to that point where I'm starting to feel it, rather than, just, like see a difference. I am starting to feel a little bit of difference in my macros, mainly because my carbs have dropped quite a bit. So for my current macro changes, what I'm doing now is on training days, it is 250 protein, 320 carbs, and 60 fat. On my off days, it is 240 protein, so that hasn't changed. My carbs have dropped to 220, so 100 carbs less on off days versus my training days. And the fats are at 70 grams. So I will put a link down in the bottom to my Facebook page, so you can definitely check that out as well. See it actually in written form. One thing I did change this week that honestly I'm probably going to change back is, for some reason I was like, you know what, I want to get rid of the quinoa. I'm just going to throw in brown rice. Go back to a classic. Big mistake, because I forgot brown rice, especially minute rice, which for some reason I decided to grab the fucking minute rice and not real rice, sucks ass when you heat it up in the microwave. It tastes bland and just bland. So I am probably going to go back to what I had before of the quinoa and brown rice mix that came with its own set of spices, because at least that had flavor. I thought I was getting sick of it, but no, now I realize that was the best. So I'm definitely going to go back that route probably once this week is over. In terms of my training, the training has stayed exactly the same. However, I have added cardio in. My cardio right now actually isn't too bad. I'm only doing 2 sessions, and my goal is to burn 250 calories per session. One of those days I do on Sunday, which is an off day, and my fiance and I, we basically just walk around for about an hour. And usually we travel about, 2.5 miles, and by that point, it's pretty safe to assume that I've burnt roughly about 250 calories. My second session I'm doing on Thursdays, which is my other off day. I'm doing about 40 minutes on a treadmill, because on a treadmill or an elliptical or bike, whatever, you can input all of your data, like your age, your height, your weight, etc., and it'll basically tell you how many calories approximately you are burning. So that one I will do about 40 minutes. My cardio days, if you haven't caught on, I'm doing on my off days. The reason why is I don't want to do a second session, at least right now, on training days, unless I absolutely have to. I know down the line that's going to come into play, so for right now, I'm trying to keep them a little separated just a little bit. I actually wrote notes for this video. It's weird. I don't usually write notes. I'm actually about to start doing it from now on. It's really good. They're nothing fancy. They're literally just bullet points, like 2 words saying, hey, say this, or transition to this. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll make it flow a little bit better. As for my weight, the first time in about 5-6 months, I have dropped below 190. Now again, I still have days where I'm above 190, but it's getting that point where it is starting to dip down there more consistently. I woke up, I think, on Saturday or Sunday for the first time. I was 189.8 pounds. I know it's not, that dramatic, but for me, it's been a while since I've been below, the 190s. In terms of how I'm feeling, like psychologically and physically, I am getting slightly hungrier towards the end of the day, especially on off days, because on off days, my last few meals don't really have that many carbohydrates in it, so it's odd for me. I'm used to having something at least, before I go to bed. Now it's starting to taper off. Even on my training days, my carbs are not as high, so I am starting to feel a little bit more on a physical level. Psychologically, I am perfectly fine. I haven't really noticed anything with that. I am a little bit tired around like the 10, 11 a.m. Time slot, but pretty much everybody is. Now to kind of segue for a few minutes, one thing that I wanted to address is something that I feel is very important for anybody to understand, that I've actually been asked surprisingly quite a few times over the last, honestly, few months, which is weird. And that's, what do you do to look how you look? And to me, when I hear that, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because to me, I see myself every single day. I don't think I look extravagant or anything extremely special. And to me, the thing I'm understanding now, obviously much more than I did when I first started working out, is that you shouldn't be lifting weights. You should be training muscles. And what that means is don't go in thinking the only way to get muscles or to get big is lift the heaviest weight. You need to know what your sport is. If your sport is powerlifting, to lift the heaviest weight, good. Train that way. But if your goal is to be a bodybuilder or to, put on lots of muscle in a very aesthetic looking way, lifting the heaviest weight is not the way to do it. Again, a lot of these things are my opinion, but understanding that when I go in and I do like really any muscle, yes, I'm still going heavy. I'm not, just picking out warm-up weights, but I'm not going as heavy as I can. If I'm getting less than, roughly 8 reps, I'm not really going to do that weight. I'm going to drop down. Like on a Friday when I did chest, I worked up to 105, 110 pound dumbbells for flat dumbbell bench press, but I was still doing 10 to 12 reps. I wasn't doing that to max out, because that's not my sport. You have to understand what your sport is. Once you understand that and what it takes, then that really is going to set the tone for what your training should be like. So my little rant on that, I didn't want this video to just be me talking about me. I wanted it to be a little bit of something that everyone can really relate to. Let me know what you think. If you think that I'm wrong, if you think that lifting the heaviest weight possible is going to get you the biggest muscles, that's fine. Let me know. I would love to kind of know what your training style is, because again, there are hundreds of different ways to train. I do not know them all. So definitely enlighten me and let me know what you think. Definitely check out my Facebook page. I did put up a updated diet sheet and macro listing of what my current diet is, at least for this week. Like I said, that brown rice quinoa thing is probably going to transition back if at all possible. So check those out. Hit that subscribe button if you like this video. If you didn't like the video, too bad. Hit the button anyway because you're already locked in. You made it to the end of this video, so you might as well subscribe for a future video. Other than that, I'm Jake with NEF Fitness, and I will see you next time.